it occurs to me that what must be happening is Musk is getting into the computer systems, the payment systems, and shutting off the payments. That's why he needs access to the payment systems, to the computers, because he's actually shutting off the payments. Now, he must also be looking at the books in some other form to see what the payment is for, because the payment itself is not going to describe what the money is supposed to be used for. It's going to go to a bank account, and it's going to have a name, paid to the order of, and then it may have a number associated with it, and that number might track back to a document that describes what the money's for. And it may also describe the appropriation that it's using, probably, because all this money has been appropriated by Congress. And another thing is, the reason he's physically shutting off the payment himself is because if he was to tell the supervisor or the director, to shut off the payment, the director would consult with other directors, he would consult with others, peers, he would consult with his peers, he would consult with, as they say, the deep state or the swamp, and he would consult with his lawyer, and his lawyer is going to tell him that it's not legal for him to shut off that payment, which is true, and that's why Musk has to do it himself. He has to perform the crime himself, and he cannot be prosecuted until he breaks something. At this time, he has too much public support. A prosecution is not going to work until he breaks the economy, which I think has to happen. But at any rate, whether it does or not, until he breaks something and public opinion changes, he can't really be prosecuted. He's immune, just like the president. The president got an official ruling that he's immune, but he's immune, and he was immune when Biden was president, in a manner of speaking, because he had too much popular support. You just couldn't put him in jail. There'd just be there was half the populace, half the population supports him, and voted for him. And I would say probably half the population supports what he and Musk is doing now, and you might go as low as 30%. Well, you can look at his approval rating probably, and I'm guessing it's close to 50%. And I'm guessing there's some people that are kind of crossing over. They didn't vote for him, but they still are angry about some of these payments, and so they still support. They support him now, and even when they didn't at the time. I'm guessing, because I kind of feel that way about some things myself. Although at the top of my head, I don't really. Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter what I think. The one thing I think is you're shutting off all these payments, and you're putting people out of work. Now the people are still getting paid, but they're not working. They don't have a job really. So they're either some of them might move out of DC, sell their house, and which would stimulate the economy to some extent. But others of them might sit tight, wait a few years, and maybe they got nowhere to go anyway. If you sell your house, you have to buy a house, and they're not going to spend money. They're not going to spend money. That's what I'm thinking.